Okay, today we're going to go ahead and assemble the Vicehead Resinworks Rogers Lowboy. This would work for a 55, 65, 70, and 75 ton, I think it is, from this era. The heavy lowboy of the era. Pretty simple kit. Maybe a little hard to paint because small parts. But we have the main chassis here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 sets of wheels, and we'll show you how those go on in a moment. We also have a spare tire. Cool little feature there. It goes on the side. And a tiny little bar here that holds your spare tire on. So through the magic of television, I actually have a bunch of parts ready for this. We painted these off camera and got everything ready to go. So now all I have to worry about is putting them together. We also still have the tire and the bar on the supports, which we'll touch on after we get everything together. Tires are nice and easy. Flip your chassis over. Pretty much like the fuel tankers. Tires are going to go in those spots there. So just put a little dab of glue and get your tire in place. I got to pay attention to which tires go where for me, because I painted some of them pretty good and I painted some of them not so good. So we're going to put the nicer looking pieces on the outside, I think. There's one on. Dab of glue. Nope. There we go. There's a little side-to-side play. I recommend trying to line them up the best you can. But if they are hair off, it's not going to look bad, because these trailers were not always perfect, especially if you're building one that was used and abused, which many of them were. You would commonly have things slightly askew. But if you want to, you could always just line it up right on one of the edges. There we go, got that one pretty straight. So you put the tire right against the frame rail area there. And it'll come out pretty decent for you. And there's our last one. So there's our tires in place. It'll flip over and look something about like that. I know, weird, but that's how they were. They had a bunch of axles in the back. So that looks like it'll stay up there pretty well. I'm going to take this tire and support bar off quick. Okay, so the tire and support bar is a fairly... spare tire and support bar is a fairly easy assembly. If you look closely at the spare tire, and we'll see if we can even get that to focus there. You can see one side has a little bit of a lip there. That's part of the rim. If you really want to paint it, go ahead and paint it. I'm just leaving it black, but it should be silver. So if you can get in there, go for it. Put a couple dabs of glue on the tire, and then I'm going to put it right in place. There we go. After that dries for a minute, we have our support bar, which is, again, tiny, tiny, tiny. It is T-shaped. So the bottom of the T goes into the tire. And I'm going to try to do this for you on camera here, but I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to, so we're going to do our best. So there's our tiny, tiny support bar. Put just a hair of glue on the back part of it. If I can even keep it in the tweezers. And then we'll set it down in. Hopefully get it positioned somewhat decently. Good news is it's not super critical what direction it faces, long as the two other parts of the T wind up going across the spare tire. So there you go. We're going to set that down for a moment. We're going to cap up our glue and let that dry. And if you look real closely, we can put it onto a truck here. It does have the standard hitch I offer. And we can go ahead and put it on this truck. This is, yeah, this is the one I painted a little heavy in there. And we'll get you a quick shot of what that one's going to look like. Okay, and there is our side view, which I did check. The D9 fits very tightly on that, but it does fit. But I don't have it up here, so you can see a little bread van sitting right there in the flatbed, lowboy, which is his 2 scale. These things were pretty big, pretty obnoxious from the day, so if you take a look, you can see it is a little wider than the truck. Hopefully there. Let me turn it sideways. So you see it is a good bit wider than the truck. That's, like I said, that's just kind of how they were. They were wide so they could haul those big pieces of equipment that they had. So we are scale, we are accurate. We do have some cool details there. And there we go. So yeah, that's the Rogers Lowboy kit. I hope you enjoy building it.